Hello students, good morning. Today's lesson is about naming and drawing 3D shapes. An objective is to recognize and name 3D shapes, also to describe the properties of 3D shapes. So what is a 3D shape? A 3D shape has 3 dimensions. You have the length, the width, and the height. So a 3D shape has 3 dimensions. Okay? So these are some of the 3D shapes we have. You need to be able to recognize and name these 3D shapes. So we have cube, cuboid, square base pyramid, tetrahedron, cone, cylinder, sphere, hemisphere, triangular prism, pentagonal prism, and hexagonal prism. So how can we describe these shapes? We can use words like surface, face, base, edge, or vertices. So let's start with the first one, surface. The curved part of a 3D shape is the surface. Take for example, we have a cylinder and we have a cone. Now the part where you have the arrow pointed is the surface. All right. The face is the part of the 3D shape that is flat. Now this is the face of this shape. This is a cube. So the part of a 3D shape that is flat is called the face. So base is the bottom face of a 3D object. So we have a cone and we also have a cube. Now the part where you have the arrow pointed is called the base because that is the bottom face of the 3D object we have displayed on the screen, which is the cone and the cube. So the bottom face of a 3D object is called the base. Edge is the line where two faces meet on a 3D object. Edges are also known as straight lines. So you can see we have a cube and you can see the line where the two faces meet on the cube. You have it numbered from 1 to 12. Okay, so it's like a straight line, and if you count it, we have 12 edges. Okay, now let's talk about vertex. Vertex is the point where 3 or more edges meet. Now we have a cube. You can see the edges 1, 2, 3. The 3 edges meet at that point. So that is the edge. So for a cube, we have 8 vertices altogether. So vertices are also known as corners. So if you count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you discover that we have 8 vertices altogether for a cube and also for a cuboid. So look at this. We have a cube. We also have a cuboid. These are 3-dimensional shapes. And for a cube and a cuboid, it has 6 faces. The only difference is that for a cube, all the faces are equal, while for a cuboid, all the faces are not. Okay, 6 faces. And we also have 12 edges. Remember that the line where two faces meet is called the edge. So we have 12 edges, just like I explained in the previous slide. And for these 3-dimensional shapes, we also have 8 vertex. The vertex is the point where 3 or more edges meet. And that is where you have the arrows pointed. So if you count it all together, we have 8 vertex. Now let's talk about cylinder. A 3-dimensional shape which has 2 faces. Remember, the part of a 3D shape that is flat is called the face. So for a cylinder, we have 2 faces. We have one surface. The curved part of the 3D shape is the surface. We have one surface, 0 edges, 0 vertex. So this is a cylinder. A sphere is a 3-dimensional shape which has 0 faces. We don't talk about faces when we're dealing with a sphere. We only talk about surface. So a sphere has one surface, 0 edges, 0 vertex. So this is all we have about a sphere. You also need to take note that all 3D shapes have face or faces, vertices, and edges apart from a sphere. So for a sphere, we only talk about just one surface. Okay, I need you to take note of that. This is prism. There are different types of prisms and they are based on the shape of its bases. Now, if you take a look at the object or the shapes, you discover that the first one, which is just right above, is a rectangular prism because the shape of its base is a rectangle. Okay, the other one is a square prism. We have a triangular prisms, we have pentagonal prism, and we have hexagonal prism. So by the time you're done with this video, you will be able to check out for the number of edges, the number of vertices, the number of faces for each of these 3D objects. Now, a pyramid, there are different types of pyramid, just like the prism, and they are based on the shape of its bases. So for a pyramid, we have one base, we have triangular sides, faces that meet at one vertex. You can see the triangular faces, you can see them. And we also have examples, square pyramids, triangular pyramids, rectangular pyramids, and so on. Square-based pyramid is a three-dimensional shape which has 5 faces, one square, which happens to be the base, and 4 triangles. You can see it on the 4 sides. So we have 5 faces. We also have 8 edges from the definition I gave in the previous slides. And we also have 5 vertices, okay, for a square-based pyramid. So for your assignment, you will be given other pyramids to figure out the faces, the edges, and the vertices. So take note of the definition, okay? So this is also a rectangular pyramid. It's a three-dimensional shape which has 5 faces. That is one rectangular, which is the base, and 4 triangles. So also we have 8 edges and 5 vertex. Okay, the same with what I discussed in the previous slide. So the definition is very important for you to be able to know the number of faces, the number of edges, and the number of vertex for every 3D object. Okay, so what have we learned so far? We've been able to check out the names of 3D shapes, some of which are mentioned here: cylinder, rectangular prism, cone, square-based pyramid. Let's see if we can identify the other 3D shapes. We have a cuboid, we have a cube, we have a sphere, we have a triangular-based pyramid, and we have a triangular prism. So in summary, the surface is the curved part of a 3D shape. The face is the part of a 3D shape that is flat. The base is the bottom face of a 3D shape. The edge is a line where 2 faces meet on a 3D object. And the vertex is the point where 3 or more edges meet. Now, you will need this to do your assignments because for every shape you'll be given, you need to tell me the number of faces, the number of edges, the number of vertex. So you need to take note of this definition. So that is all we have for today. Thank you for listening and have a good day.